Okay, now you should be able to see me. I think I was not visible, so let me know if you see me, guys. So nice to see you, everyone. And again, maybe I'm repeating yourself, but I don't know if everything worked well so far. So Doug is gonna be here in a couple of minutes from now. Nice to see you, Melody, Larry, and Helio. We're going to discuss not only stocks but crypto as well. Nice to see you, Ronnie, too. And also, if you have any other instruments or also any other tickers which you would like to discuss, let me know. So I'm happy to be here with you on this Friday. I just made myself a cup of a coffee, and I hope you get a coffee or other drinks, whatever you have. And yeah, let's start and let's do this. The markets are crazy. It's been a very decent week. It's been a nice week. Everything went up so far, and today we see a little bit of a rejection. So we're going to discuss all of that. Let's start with the U.S. indices. Let's start right away with the S&P 500. And let me just finish here something real quick before we continue, guys, because I don't know if Doug has the link for this invitation. Okay, let me just remove that. I'm sorry for that. Okay, and again, we're going to discuss the indices, Bitcoin, which is going down so far. So let's see how this goes. Okay, I sent Doug the link for StreamYard. Now we are set up. So ES, very straight up move, reached all-time highs and picture perfect rejection here. You see that? That's, by the way, the 4-hour chart. So we went into this previous resistance, that was 4,551. And we see now the first rejection here, couple of points. In the past couple of days, it's been a straight up move, guys. Again, I didn't expect to see that. I didn't expect to see it straight up. So I knew we were going to continue higher, but I didn't see this straight up move, this vertical move almost. And again, the markets are interesting, always surprise us. That's the interesting part about this. So just to repeat this setup here for those of you who are new to this channel. So I've been watching a lot those indices, trading them a lot in the past, and one of my favorite setups is buying at support, and I'm looking a lot at the price action. So for example, in this case, we tested this level 4,274 many times, and you see here for 5 days in a row we're testing support. All those dips are getting bought up, and you see that here on those wicks on the candles. And we bounced off this support area finally. Then we saw a while back here a rejection at resistance, which means, okay, I thought back at this point, maybe we might see one more test here at the lows. But this didn't happen. Instead, we saw a small pullback and bullish candlestick formation here, which was a bullish engulfing candle, and straight boom, broke out this resistance without even, without any stop or pullback at this point. So that was actually a pretty strong breakout here and went straight to all-time highs. So again, this is a very good reminder to all of us who fear always the market is going to crash and all that stuff. And I know we have a lot of problems as well all over the world. So there are many reasons why the markets can drop here or can pull back. But again, we always need to remember, in general, the markets go up the majority of the time. We had already a huge correction 2020, and now what happens after more than 30%, 40% corrections is a straight bull run of many years. So this can be a couple of years before we see another huge correction like that. So I'm prepared for this, and that's why I personally like buying. The only concern what I always have, of course, at those levels, we're going to pull back and we're going to see some drop. That's why it's important to protect gains. I do that by using trailing stops. I discuss that a lot with my members. I think this is one of the most important tools to secure your profits and also be able to continue if the stock markets continues in your direction, to continue making gains, but also not giving back a lot of your profits, so which you have realized in the past. So that's the current situation with ES here. And all those indices look pretty similar. So Nasdaq, very similar setup. Again, that was the previous area, bounce here, bullish engulfing candle, another bounce. This one didn't make it to all-time highs. It actually stopped here at resistance, and currently it is rejecting at resistance. So we might see either a pullback a little bit, or we might see a tight consolidation and continuation higher. At this point, after this bull run, is pretty normal to see a little bit of a slowdown after this 5 or 6 days straight up move. RTY is one of the indices which I really don't like to trade. This is so choppy. It's been in a very sideways price action and cycle for a very long period of time. So for now, this has been like maybe, I don't know, a couple of months. Let's see since when. So it has a pretty good straight up trend here and cycle, and then at some point it started to go in a very sideways price action since actually February. So almost the whole year it's been sideways. One of the reasons I don't want to trade it, or I don't like it for right now, is that it makes a huge upside down candles, breaks support and resistance, and goes in different directions recently. So this makes it just not an easy instrument to trade. So that's the current situation. And last but not least, from the US indices is YM, which is as well very strong. It actually broke here all-time highs and rejected as well. So for now, all of those indices are rejecting. I expected this point, like I mentioned, after this huge run the past days, I expect a little bit of a slowdown, a little bit of a maybe a small correction there before we continue higher. So that's the current situation. And also, like I mentioned already on a lot of my social media channels, I started to include Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has a future. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. So they have a future, which is BTC. That's the Bitcoin future. And they also have, most importantly, micro futures. So if you're trading, for example, small account, and you want to definitely trade Bitcoin and you don't have a Bitcoin account, you can trade this Bitcoin future or the new ETF, which they have since a couple of days. So that is a good way to do it. Personally, I didn't like it for a while, but since it started to gain momentum and I am able to trade the futures, I think this is a great instrument if you want to be involved with all that, if you want to catch some nice moves here. You don't have to focus on Bitcoin stocks. Again, you can trade the future, micro future, which moves only a couple of cents per point, or you can use the ETF. So the Bitcoin future, what happens is this was actually back here in a downtrend, broke out this mess. And it's very interesting how well technical analysis works for all instruments, guys. It really doesn't matter at the end what you're trading. You can, as long as you have momentum, especially a nice looking chart, you can apply technical analysis to everything. So in this case, we saw this nice bull run back here, and we started to go sideways, broke down, pulled back, and touched here some support areas and broke out. And you see this here was our previous resistance area for a while. That was the high. It pulled back around this area, and after this breakout here, now this becomes support. So 14862 became support. It broke out, and then it started to move again in a little bit of a sideways distribution cycle, pulled back into this support again, and tested it 2 times, and since then it's just basically exploded to the upside. Now we see finally a small correction here. So I do expect to see a little bit more correction in the next days. which means if you guys have Bitcoin or mining stocks, this might be the beginning of a small downtrend. So be a little bit careful if you hold those. You can either use, if you're in those personally, what I'm discussing a lot with my members, you can stop out at break even if it reached your point and re-enter always back. So in this case, again, this is a very clear bearish engulfing candlestick formation, and it got confirmed today. So we might see a little bit more pullback on Bitcoin overall. You see that also very nicely on the 4-hour chart. So one more thing to mention here, if you guys are trading Bitcoin, the Bitcoin future or the ETF, it doesn't matter. I personally really like, especially for futures, to use the 4-hour chart. It is very clear. You see very clear the uptrends, downtrends. You see how everything moves. You don't have a lot of noise or too many false signals. So this was definitely a nice uptrend, and you see now we are breaking down. So the next previous support here on this chart, let me draw that for you, is 60,000, which is a whole number. If we break below, the next one is the previous low, 56,878. So we have those two levels here to watch if this continues lower. And again, that's important if you're using those, if you're using Bitcoin or any kind of crypto stocks, mining stocks, they're all going to pull back. That's why you have to watch the future or just Bitcoin directly. It doesn't have to be the future. For example, let's take a look at BITF, which I had on my watch list recently. And you see how they relate to each other. We saw this nice breakout, but then what happened is that was a false breakout. So I had it on my watch list. Actually, the setup was to buy this breakout here. Unfortunately, what we saw is it broke out, but you see those wicks on the candles on the upside. So this means there's just not enough buyers to sustain the price. Actually, there are more sellers. And the next day, which was yesterday, we saw this red candle. And what I was saying actually to my members is if you enter this breakout, you can move your stop to break even, because this reversal candle is confirmed by a red candle, which makes it a very bearish looking chart. And looking at Bitcoin as well in combination, you just see that this might be ready to pull back. And you see, if you used, for example, trailing stop and moved the stop from your entry point here to break even, you would now eliminate your loss, because instead of holding to a loser, you would have been now out of the stock for break even or zero. And now you can you can basically relax to watch it and see what happens when it stops. And when it dips and stops at some point, then you can always re-enter back again. So this is the beauty of those trailing stops. The positive part. Of course, the negative part is you might get stopped out a couple of times here and there, and then you might have to re-enter back again. That would be the negative part. Steven, nice to see you here. Nice to see you, Giriel, as well. Guys, nice to see everyone here. Let me know, of course, if you have anything else. Natural gas. I don't personally trade gas. I have oil here, which we can discuss the oil future. Let me see, CL. That's the crude oil future. In general, I do think those markets will continue to go higher because of the current inflation, because of the reopening. I think this is a straight uptrend. This has been uptrending. I think we mentioned that last week in our show that it is very extended, but you just have a lot of fundamentals issues here. And every time it tries to drop, you see all those dips are just getting bought up here. So you see the wicks on the lower candles. It just doesn't want to go. It doesn't want to go higher. Okay, I see Duck is here. Duck, I'm gonna add you to the screen. And for those of you guys who are here for Duck, He's here. Nice to see you, Doc. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm here. I know you guys came for me. I know that's why you're here. Because, let's face it, I'm the good looking one here. Let's face it. I'm the one that's easy on the eyes. So, what are we
Nice
talking
to
about?
see
Oh,
you.
yeah, I'm ready. I got a power smoothie. Look. But it's a
Oh,
really
very
small
good.
glass. It's a small glass. So, I'll be
So
half power.
you will not have enough.
Half
I have
power.
coffee here, so coffee.
Giddle's in the house. Who's in the house? What are we talking about today? I got to fix my camera.
We're talking about, so we're right now at oil. We started with crypto. I
Oh,
haven't done all the crypto stocks. We can discuss crypto as well one more time to hear
oil.
your opinion. I know you're not into crypto, but I'm gonna make you to love crypto. So
Make me love crypto. Make me love
you
crypto.
you will start trading crypto next month. I
I want to
promise
trade
you.
some oil and wheat. Cotton. Guys should look at the chart on cotton. Short some cotton. Oh, this really took a turn. Let's get on point. So what are we talking
Steven is
about?
asking, you don't hear about OPEC anymore. Yeah, those are reasons for that. What about the minor stocks like Mara? Yeah, so the thing here is, Steven, like I mentioned with crypto, let's continue with crypto and then we can go back to
Yes,
oil.
let's go crypto.
So, Doug, I know you maybe see this the first time. This is the Bitcoin Future ETF. Have you seen this?
This is the first time. I know it's in existence, but I didn't pay attention to it because it's just not my thing right now.
I know.
But yeah,
I'm promising you, by the end of next month, you will be a crypto expert because we're going to include that here in our
I'm
topic.
not going to be a crypto expert. No, I have crypto, but I'm not going to be an expert.
Well, who knows? We're gonna continue watching it and also trading it. So you might be very soon an expert. So, anyways, what we see here is this straight up trend. It was holding here back here, very nice support, straight move up, and now it's breaking decent support areas. And to come back to Steven's question with Mara, this is the reason why we see a pullback on all those mining stocks. So all those stocks. We can go through some of those. For example, Mara, BITF, which I show you, Riot, HUT, all of those, they're going to continue dropping if Bitcoin continues to go lower. That's why it's important to follow what happens with it because they all relate to each other. So Mara has been actually a nice looking stock recently, also very volatile stock. If we pull out the chart and the history, we see this was the momentum cycle here. It went into a distribution cycle at some point, and then it started to go low. It lost more than 50% of its value. But then it started to gain momentum as well, and this was a very nice move. So what you see on Mara is exactly what you see also on the Bitcoin chart. It's basically pulling back right now. It made a decent move, so that's not nothing unusual here to see a pullback. I like overall all of those mining stocks. Again, you can either trade the Bitcoin future or you can trade those mining stocks. It doesn't really matter if you're into that. If it pulls back into this previous support, I would really like it for a long here into the 36 maybe, hopefully. But it could stop also here. This was the previous resistance, which after the breakout, it became support. So that's 45. It might stop at 45. So two levels to look at, 45 and 36, 80. Those two levels I would watch for a pullback for a buy. What do you think about Mara and in general about a Bitcoin duck?
Sweet. I think you have to own some kind of exposure to cryptos because they've gone long enough that now banks and everybody's offering it. So it's not, I think it's established itself. It's not going to be a fad. I think it's better to play some of these most of these moves are credited towards Bitcoin. And right now, I don't think most people have the account size to buy a bunch of Bitcoin, right? To trade actual Bitcoins and buy a $60,000 coin.
Yeah.
I think if the charts are kind of comparable between these miners and you also now have these ETFs. I think those are better ways to go because you can get more size in them if you have a smaller account. I think
Yeah.
they are going to pull back though here because a lot of this run up had to do with the announcing of this ETF, right? Going into this
Yeah.
ETF, right? So,
Yes, I can show the
it's sort of
chart.
like a, what is it? What's the saying? Buy the rally, sell the news, or whatever it is. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Yeah, that's it. Buy the rumor, sell the news.
That is
I knew
the
I would remember.
chart, BITO. That's the ETF, guys. The new ETF, which is only 4 days old, it's pulling back. Again, those are all correlating together. Also, Doug, I think, yes, for small account, you're right, you can trade the mining stocks. But what do you think about the micro future? I'm going to show it to you because I don't know if you're aware of this. The mining future moves slower for small accounts. So what do you think of Bitcoin, trading Bitcoin future?
I think that's good too. What is the ticker for that on the futures? I don't have it.
BTC/BTC on the Thinkorswim platform. By the way,
That's not
someone
good.
asked, I use Thinkorswim. Here's a platform, guys, from TD Ameritrade. You don't need for this. You need an account, but you don't need to put money or trade with this account. It is free once you have an account with them. So that is something what I use. I use for trading futures Tastyworks. So you feel free to check it out. I don't have any affiliation or something. I'm just sharing what I'm using here. And you see here all the possible future instruments which you can trade with them. So you can trade basically with them currency, energy, equity, volatility, interest rates, metals, and here at the bottom you see cryptocurrencies, and that is you see this is here 0.10 cents per point. So that's pretty cheap, actually very good for a small account as well. Overnight margin 3,696. You see that?
Yes. I actually think these are better, is what I'm saying. They're better because now you have exposure to crypto without you having to come up with so much money because, as I said, Bitcoin's probably out of the price league for most people now because of it's 60,000 a coin. So
Exactly.
you have to take an awful lot of risk to buy a couple of those. And if you weren't in on the ground floor, then, well, you're kind of late unless you've got a lot of money. And this is a better way for you to get leverage and exposure to that industry without coming up with so much money. So it's just another great revenue source. And I think coins are here to stay in one format or the other. And you're going to get a pullback right now, I think, like in Mara, Hut, Riot, Bitcoin in general, because of this ETF. But it'll settle in, and I think you'll have buying opportunities in the near future. And
I
it's
agree.
definitely good to own. I think you have to own it. If you're an investor, you got to have something there now or some exposure to
At least a little bit.
altcoins to some degree. And you can do that, or you can follow the strategy of celebrities starting their own coins and get
Exactly.
200,000 point moves in one day and then sell it. You can do the scalping the
That's
Twitter news.
true. You see here, by the way, guys, for those of you who are new to futures, maybe to explain this real quick. So you see the tick value, the full point multiplier, and overnight requirement. So tick value is really how much is this moving per tick. You see 0.25 per tick in this case, 0.12 is the tick size. So if you scroll, let's scroll back down to crypto, we see here that's 5 and 0.50 cents. That's for, let me just scroll back, I forgot, for that's the tick value. And 0.10 is the full point multiplier. So 50 cents. That was not 10 cents, what I said before, 50 cents per tick. This is not much for small account, I would think. And again, if you're into crypto with futures, this is possible. If you're not into that, again, this BITO is another great way, I think. What do you think about BITO?
I think it's good. I think, that's my answer to everything. It's good.
So
It's
everything
good.
is good.
You have better exposure now. And I think that this is why it's good. You can now get those moves and things like Bitcoin without having to come up with so much money initially, without so much leverage. And you can get leverage without so much money, which is the beautiful thing about futures in general. I think a lot of traders overlook this. They're around there trading the cheap stocks, but really your money to me is on futures. These micro futures have a lot of leverage. You can get started with very little money
Yes.
and the potential. And we can go on for hours about risk. I mean, you've got far less risk, far less problems to deal with, far less things that would influence. And it's the most liquid market in the world practically. So futures
Yeah.
are great investments. Just seems like not a lot of people take knowledge of those. Is that like a protein coffee you're drinking right there? Is that
No,
a
that is
protein coffee?
with some milk in it. It's no
How much
protein.
sugar is in that?
No sugar. No sugar.
Okay. So yeah, I think that's good. I think it's great. I think we should be watching these for a pullback here and an area to try to get long.
Yeah, I
And
agree. So it has some room though. Again, like I showed you here, this is the future. It has some room for a pullback. We are looking here now. We're almost reached 60. Yeah, we actually reached almost this 60K. It was 63.35, and we see already a bounce. So of course, it would be better if we see a little bit more pullback in order to start buying that. But like Doug said, guys, with those futures, you don't need a lot of capital. And this is sometimes the misconception of trading very cheap stocks, especially if they're pumped or if there are some trash companies, and then you're thinking, oh, they're going to bounce and I cannot afford anything else. But that's not the truth. In reality, there are so many instruments right now, especially those micro futures, which are very cheap, especially for small accounts. It's enough if you have like 2,000 to $3,000 in your account in order to trade them. The YM future or RTY future, they have very less margin requirement for overnight. So, and they're moving like 50 cents is the for YM. So you don't have a insane move for this. I think that is a very good way to grow a small account. If you focus only on those, you don't have overnight risks like we mentioned. So just encourage anyone to take a look into those.
yeah.
And
Does anybody in this? Is anybody listening? Do you? Anybody of you trade the futures? I'm just curious. It would be a
yeah,
good time to ask why. I wonder myself why they're not more popular than they are. It's like, does people not know about them? Do they not care? I'd be curious to know that because I think when you're trading it, you can, if you have a small account, you can trade these easy. You can get around the day trading rule, the
yeah,
PDT,
yeah.
by
That's
having
another thing.
this,
Yeah,
and also you really to me it's more of a risk thing. It's like if you're trading cheap stocks, you really run the risk of, most of them are biotech first of all, and you've got stage 1, 2, 3 approvals, all that kind of stuff that can really impact something, especially overnight. I've told the story
yeah,
of Elon Pharmaceuticals. I got smoked on that garbage years ago. And you got halt risks, you got buyout risks, you got squeeze, you got all kinds of mess that can happen there. But in futures, I think it eliminates a lot of our problems because, like, if you're looking at cheap stocks, you got to do a lot of research. There isn't really any research to me that needs to be done when it comes to futures. I mean, if you trade the Qs and the SPY every day, you're like trading the same thing every day. You don't have buyouts, you don't have halts, you don't have unpredictable moves or bad things that
yeah,
can
yeah. I
happen.
agree.
And
I agree.
you can really get, and it's like the leverage is insane. You can start on these with a count that's 2,000 to 3,000 in size. You could generate, I know it sounds crazy, but you could start to generate 50 to $100 a day
Yeah,
consistently
yeah. I know it is true. I have seen this,
off of
and
this.
it is working. Yes. So yeah, I see here a lot of people are trading it actually.
Like we bought this earlier today. We bought this MNQ on this dump. This level that it bounced at was a weekly level from a couple of weeks back. This 15,300, just
Yeah,
30 points in the green, but that's that's $20 a point there, right? Yeah, that's a
yeah,
lot. That's a
absolutely.
lot.
It is, and you can. The good thing is, like you mentioned, you can also day trade it without having the PDT rule. So especially for small accounts, those of you guys who are below PDT, it is a great way to go around it and day trade it if you're more someone who wants to day trade those. So You see those patterns. I can go on the, I don't really like the 5 minute, but maybe the 15 minutes is a little bit more clear here. You see how nice this touched here, this area, nice reversal candle. So I do think we might continue now higher and test maybe one more time here the resistance. But yeah, I definitely agree. And a lot of people I see are trading it. Ronnie's trading it. JT Arizona is saying I tried and failed. It depends also on the strategy. You know, of course, every strategy has downfalls. It has advantages, disadvantages. You have here, of course, a lot of algorithms. You need to be aware of this. But in general, it is a good thing to think about.
Well, we can help you, GT Arizona. First of all, follow us. Second, change your name to GT Vegas. Vegas, baby, Vegas. Because that's how we roll here, and you're going to be all right. I love Arizona, but come on.
Yeah,
GT
Arizona
Vegas,
is nice.
baby. It sounds better, too, doesn't it? It has a good sound to it. GT
Arizona
Vegas.
is nice.
But speaking of that, I feel a bit dirty because I bought this fun PHUN this morning. And here's why I say this too, because I don't know if maybe you guys don't feel this way. You can always make really big moves on some of these cheesy junk stocks like this PHUN. You have whatever DWAC, this Trump thing. Okay, they're all scams. We get it. But they go a lot higher, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is they're so sketchy for me that I never put any size behind it. Like I don't have enough conviction to feel good longing that stuff. So like today, we bought this at $8 and sold it at 20. Now it sounds like a lot, and it is, but I only had like 100 shares because I was too big of a sissy to put any more than that. Like I was like, you know what's going to happen? It's going to get halted. It's going to be like CCME. They're going to delist this thing, and I'm going to be stuck. So like I go into them and I think I'm going to lose all of my money here, like an option. Like I'm going to totally lose all my money. So it goes up, and you're like, well, great. Yeah, you made some money, but it's like I could have done the same thing. Like I'm making more on this dumb futures trade of 20 points in the Nasdaq because I believe in the Nasdaq and I have comfort there than this kind of stuff. And look what happened. Look, it dropped. You got stuck.
Yeah, that's what I wanted
you were a mess.
To share.
I just happened to get lucky, so to speak, and got out the candle before that. But that's the risk, is that kind of stuff. And
that's true. That's the gap. And look at it now. Of course, you can. Let's say, because I know, unfortunately, some people out there are chasing that kind of stuff. And let's say you entered here because you think, oh, this is going to go to 50, like yesterday, this DWAC, for example. So you enter at this green candle here at 17, and then look, it got halted, and you have intraday gap here, and it went into the 10 area. So, of course, it can reclaim now, and it can start to continue higher. But you're right, the risks which you are exposing yourself with those gaps are just higher. Of course, you're not always going to see risks like that and gaps like this every day, but it can happen. This is just part of the risks when trading those cheaper stocks. So right now, it looks like it's going to continue higher. Doug, what do you think? Do you like it for a buy here intraday?
I don't. What do we?
FUHN.
No. I guess you could, yes. I think the halts are over. Let me check the volume on it.
It looks not bad. Look at it. It looks like it's curving.
Yeah, it looks like it could squeeze a little bit, but I think the fun is over.
Fun is over.
The fun is over.
Fun is never over.
But yeah, you could buy it here. Stop 8. Maybe it squeaks to 12 to 14 before the day is over. Yeah.
Personally, I'm not gonna do it, but
it's
just
legit. But I think you got out of crazy hour. So like I don't know what you guys' level of trading is or what you're thinking, but just when you start out every day in trading, there's different levels of traders in here. Some of you already know this, some of you don't, but here's a like little universal tip regardless of what you're trading. When you start out into the US markets every morning is schizo hour. The first 1 hour is filled with all kinds of whipsaw crazy action. We just look at the market today.
Yeah.
And that's because you've got all of this emotion that's being bottled up overnight. And as soon as the market opens, everybody's like a bunch of lions and hyenas letting out of a cage, right? They're all just going psycho, and you get mixed signals. That's why something like this happens. It's not a technical trade. It turns into an emotional trade where people are just blinded. And as I always say, Emotions are the abandonment of intellect. So when you're learning how to trade something, you're building a pattern and a system that is based on probabilities. Like you look at a chart pattern. Why do you trade a chart pattern? It's to understand price action. You understand price action so you can have a probability if something goes up and down. Emotion just throws all that away. We've all done it. We've been guilty of that before, where we just throw away all this knowledge that we have and start chasing shit. And then we look like fools later on. And that's why you got to be careful, you know, in the first 30 minutes of every day to 1 hour, you get sketchy moves. And as long as you know that, you're going into it saying, hey, moves might be a little upsetting. They might be a little wild, and try to keep your eyes on the big picture. And logically, the worst day of that is Monday. There's this chart that I have that is sentiment of bullish versus bearish. Do you guys have any? I'll give you guys, maybe you've seen this. Do you know what the most bullish day of the week is? Not statistically the bullish day, but the most bullish day in the minds of traders. Does anybody care to take a guess?
Friday.
What is the most bullish day in the brains of traders when they are the most optimistic and the most bullish? Anybody care at all?
I don't know. Where is it? When is it?
It's Sunday when the market's closed. Sunday. What does that tell you? Sunday is because everybody believes in bullishness and they want to start the week out good. So they're like the most bullish before the market opens. As soon as the market opens on Monday, the sentiment starts to go down. Like their thoughts about being bullish change. Their optimism changes. It's a psychological game that we play.
Yeah, our fun setup, which I brought up, is breaking out. Look at it.
And the second one is like what Giddel's saying is Friday. When the market closes on Friday,
Yeah, Friday I would
that's the
think
second
too.
legend.
Yeah.
They're bullish. So we should be getting more bullish towards the end of this week.
I was thinking too, it's Friday, yeah. So look at it.
Yeah, look at this. Yeah, fun. Yeah, this is good, man.
My fun idea is
the fun is not over. Fun in the sun. Let's find another one. What about Grom? GROM. Same thing. Grom.
G what?
GROM. Grom. It's got the same setup.
Yeah,
even
similar.
DATS. Even the legendary DATS.
This is a little bit different. Is look, the only thing different, what I see though is.
Yeah, we need to watch this. I bet they squeeze this, guys.
It made this. It could squeeze, but look, it made this down move here. So this is not so nice. Like fun really was a decent. So here's what I like about fun. Let me show you. Let me show you.
Tell me what you like about fun. I want to know what you like about fun.
Why I actually brought it up. It might not work out. It still can dump, but. This is like it pulled back, but it starts to curl here, and it makes like higher highs, makes a flag pattern here with higher highs, like a triangle, and now it's breaking out of the zone. The other one is more, it looks weaker to me. That's why I like this actually more. What was the other one? Grom, GROM.
Yeah, Grom.
Let me see.
I'm just dishing out the dirt today. I'm giving you guys all the.
Yeah, this might be as well. It looks a little bit weaker, but look, it's perking too. Look at it.
Yeah, I know. It's low risk. You can buy it right here at 429 and stop at 390.
Yeah.
You don't have a whole lot of that. It could give you 5. You can get 5 out of this.
Yeah. So here's some day trades for you guys.
Look at this fun. Party starting.
Fun worked out so far.
Look at us going. Trailed up if you happen to take that. I didn't, so.
No, I didn't.
Doesn't do me any good at this moment.
But we should have. We should have.
We should have. Yes.
$2 already.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. So this might.
It did move. That's $2. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we should have traded it.
Wow. I take back that future spiel I just gave.
Yeah.
Screw the futures. Let's do this.
No, you have a momentum, and again, for everyone is different. Everyone has a different preference of what is good or bad, or what works for you or doesn't work. If you're trading the disadvantages, you really need here to be over PDT rule. And if you have much smaller account, then those will be a little bit harder, because you will be able to day trade only 3 times per. What was it? 3 times per week, right? Is that what was the PDT? 3 per week, or or 3 per 5?
Oh, you're gonna make me think. Yes, Helio, 48 points right there off that NQ trade. Nice. Yes,
Very
it's 3
good.
times during the same week. 3 round trips during the same week, I believe. Yes, in 5 days. Yeah.
You see that nice reversal candle here, and now it continues. It has definitely even more room here. Nice.
Now look at it. Now look at it. It's Q's just romping.
Yeah, and this one, by the way, has I discussed those indices at the beginning. Actually, before you came, this has a little bit more room into this previous all-time high. All of the other one reached all-time high. Nasdaq has some room to go to 15,700. What do you think? Do you think it's gonna reach it by the end of the year?
Yeah, I expect new all-time highs on, well, you're already there in the other ones. I do. I expect this to go back up. I actually think today that I think you got a bit of luck here that this NQ should be bought. Not right now at this second, but I think that little issue with Snap last night and Facebook and all that, I think that's just a joke. I don't think that's enough to
No, it's not enough.
take this market down. I think this little pullback, you got to have 100 points as a gift. This is going to end up taking out the highs of 15,520. Is that what it is? Or no? Yeah, 15,520, right? Why do I see 2 different prices? Yeah, 15,520.
Yeah.
15,520. I was looking at a weekly chart. And it's going to go back to 15,708. It's going to make new highs with the rest of them.
Yeah, I
And
like.
the only
I
reason
think.
I say
I
that is
think.
I hate to be that bullish, guys. I don't really want to be that bullish. But there isn't anything. What is out there right now that's going to stop this market that the market doesn't already know about? Like really, you were mentioning that earlier. This garbage about market crashes. I'd love to see one as much as anyone else sometimes. But
Yeah.
why? What would be that? You have to ask yourself why. Why would it do it? Everything is out there right now. We know about the Fed tapering. We know about inflation. We know about interest rates. We know about Evergrande. We know about Delta variants. There's the only time the market sells off. I think I said this last week, or maybe I've said this before. I don't know where. I'll repeat it again. Since the financial crisis, you've only had 3 retracements
Yeah, I
in the
know. We
market.
brought this up last time. We
Was it
brought
last
this
week? Yeah,
up.
in excess of 20%. And those were all on unexpected
Yeah, yeah.
market events. You don't
I
have
brought it
that
up
right now.
actually also before you came. Same
And
thing.
you're
Like
not going to get it
you.
here. It just isn't going to
No,
happen. No matter how bad you want it, they're going to keep milking the system. So just
Yeah,
go with
and
it. Go with it.
you had last year 2020 35% correction, and again if you look back in the history after these huge corrections like 35 even 40%, this is followed by a huge bull run of many years like 8 to 10 or 15 years bull market. So we're just year number 2 after this crash, so this might continue much higher than we think. And I've been listening to those, the market is going to crash for so many years. I'm telling you, since I started trading, everyone was afraid the market is going to crash. And 9 years later, we are just, if you would just have bought and not even touch it, you would have made a decent amount of money already. So I'm
Jorge's
not
asking,
following
do you
today.
recommend keeping extended hours on the chart?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
do.
do like. Yeah,
You
I
want
like it.
all price levels, right? All price levels on there, including pre and post market. Yeah.
Yes. So for futures, especially, you see all the time what's happening. They're open 24 hours, 5 days per week, opening on Sunday afternoon. So you see every time, you don't need to put it on the chart. But also for stocks, if you're day trading stocks, I think it is a good idea. Like, let's discuss this fund what we had here as an example. You if you blend it in here, you just see the price action, and I think it's important to understand price action is important. The more information you have, the better. So look, this was a very nice, this is a lot of momentum here, and you see that it all happened pre-market. And if you see this kind of momentum here, you know already this might continue the whole day, or you shouldn't definitely start shorting it if it is curling up and having so much momentum here. So yes, I do recommend definitely to use extended hours. You just see more information and better the price action.
What else we got? What else you guys got?
Yeah, let us know if you have something else. We were focused on a couple of Bitcoin mining stocks. Let's see the other one. What do we have? This BITF I discussed, Mara, which one? Hut. That was one. They're all pulling back recently, as you see, based on the current Bitcoin pullback. So again, this can be over, guys. This might be over, this pullback. It tested almost 60,000 on the daily chart. If this is over here around support, for me, those are all a buy into a dip, right?
All a buy into the dip. Everything is a everything's a buy into the dip. Buy the dip.
Nvidia, we've been discussing. AMD, we discussed many times ago. This is a buy and hold. All those are doing very, very well so far. Adobe, which I had also continues. I closed it actually because I wanted to realize some profits. This might continue higher. A nice bounce here of this area. So all of those are actually looking very good. Click I bought a couple of days ago. This is a nice move. What else did I have?
I think this Facebook today is a good trade from here
Yeah,
on out
Facebook.
for a day trade. You got a nice little 5-minute double bottom right here. Looks like it's bottomed itself out at 322. It's 323. I bet it grinds to 326, 330 before the day is over, especially if the Qs end up going green. They're that's 100 points out, but that bounce right now is
Yeah, this was a huge
lot.
drop. You know, I was confused yesterday.
100 points.
I thought they have an earnings or something, but they have earnings on the 25th. So I was kind of confused why this happened. But I think it is overall, Facebook is a buy. Of course, like all companies, they have an issues. But as long as we hold, also for a swing trade, as long as we hold the 200 EMA here, for me it is fine. If we start breaking below the 200, breaking those support levels, then it should be something to be worried about, and maybe get out and look for something else, use as a stop. But as long as we hold this area, it should be fine.
It is fine. And I have to say, a couple of these ones that were mentioned, for the swing traders out there, this pattern that we saw a couple of weeks ago, I think we brought it up with Adobe and Qualcomm.
Yeah.
This is something you got to be looking at, I think.
Yeah, this is an A plus pattern, really. This
you did the same thing with this AutoNation.
yeah.
You did the same thing with Click this week for people. This stuff is golden, man. This is about one of the golden swing setups you're going to find of these long, drawn-out sellers.
Absolutely. This
Dick's
is one of my
Sporting
favorites.
Goods is another one here. These are all breaking range off the bottom.
Yeah, and
they're
guys,
really
we've been
looking nice.
discussing this. I've been discussing this setup a lot also here. We're discussing it together a couple of times. It is really something to look for when whatever you're trading or screening, especially if it is a decent growth company. You know, I'm focusing on growth companies, and I like to see that they have decent growth, because those are just the momentum stocks for me. They have expectation of doing an outstanding move. So if you want to catch those momentum stocks, you should look for growth, in my opinion. I know some of you are trading only based on technicals. That's fine too. But if you have a combination of growth company pulling back into a deeper support level, oversold around 30 RSI, this is a plus setup. We have this with Anna. This was a while ago. I brought it up. Unfortunately, I missed that. I discussed that so many times. At the end, I missed that.
106 is when you brought that up. It was at 106.
Yeah, it was 106 and it went into the 128. And you have this tiny amount of a risk here for this kind of an outstanding move into resistance. And again, this happened in 3 to 4 days. So this is the type of stuff which you definitely should focus on. The other one was Adobe. The next one, which I brought up recently to my members, was Click. I think you bought it too. Then what else was it? One more I had on the list. I forgot. What was it? I forgot about it. But all those pay attention to all those oversold below 30 RSI into a support area. It is better if the 200 EMA is below the current price action, but I personally don't pay too much attention to that. So if it is into a decent support area, growth company, oversold, the probability for a bounce is very high. So Josephine is saying PayPal.
Yeah. Look at that click though, real quick before you switch back to that. Does it get any? Look how technically perfect that is. It's like right into a triple bottom.
Yes.
To the penny almost. I mean,
I know.
That's really straight. They don't have to, like, and here's the thing, it doesn't have to be the most famous stocks. There's not a lot of social mentions on Click. We might be the only people looking at it. It doesn't have to be sexy to be a big performer to make lots of money. I mean, I think what epitomizes that is you brought it up at the beginning, maybe last year, is Tractor Supply. That thing is dumbfounding to me that it just keeps blowing out. And you guys know what Tractor Supply, I don't get it. It's like, wow, what a beast Tractor Supply is.
That's been one of my biggest winners. No one is looking at it.
They don't have a Musk CEO. Hell, we don't even know the CEO. They're not featured in Money Magazine, but it's like, this stock is up like $100+ a share. And it just keeps moving. It's pretty wild.
Here's another one which I brought to my subscribers. Actually, I bought it as well. This was at support. Same pattern, guys. Same pattern. The better thing is that it is above the 200 EMA. So you have here the 200 EMA. Yeti. I've been trading this or having it on watch list a lot of times, and I was actually looking at it here. It broke support, and now we got here even the better opportunity. The problem is I was in it. I saw this reversal coming, so I got out and I didn't re-enter. But it continued to hold support here. You see those reversal candles, and it was ready for another re-entry around this level here with stop below, and same thing. Look what a nice explosive move. Yeti, that was another one. PayPal. Josephine, nice to see you here. How are you doing? PayPal. Yes, PayPal is getting into the same area. I don't know why they sold off so much. I saw it yesterday.
Ooh,
I was surprised.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good. This is very similar to what we're looking for here.
Sell that bad boy off. Yeah.
Hopefully we get even more. They have on the 5th of November earnings. So I hope we get even more correction here, maybe 233. 433, yes.
You have you got a lot of support there from March of last year, a double bottom in March, then May, or that was this year. Yeah, May. Yeah.
So I have 234 and 222. If we get there, that would be like a gift on a discount.
That's right. I would do that. Yes, that's what you want. Find those things before they break out. So when they break out again, you get the maximum up move. Now I got one for you. I think the crowd's going to love this one. It fits right into the wheelhouse of what people like to trade. It's my uncovered gem for the month of October, November. Are you ready?
Yes.
Is everyone sitting down? I need you to fundy this bad boy.
Okay.
Cliff, CLF, Cliff Resources.
Yeah, I have traded this a lot.
It's been in the toilet for a while. Hasn't done much. Earnings, blowout earnings yesterday. The chart looks prime. The earnings are good. The price is right. It is poised for perfection. For a nice win.
You don't even need to look the fundies if you see this, because if it closes today like that, the earnings were yesterday, right? So if it closes like this is basically an earnings winner. And what does that mean? I'm just removing my drawings here. So this was the previous support to make it a little bit clear. It broke out. You see this nice uptrend. So this is an earnings winner, which means any pullback also on a lower time frame is a buy, because normally what happens is this will continue and it will pull back and slow down at a higher support level. It will continue to go higher. So definitely a good one on a pullback. I like it. Let's see the fundies real quick, because you want me to see the fundies.
I was just doing it for the sake of it. I would trade it anyway. I like it. I think.
It looks
good here. It was a former runner. It was like a $10 stock going to 26, and it's really sat on the 200-day moving average all of September. This could be the catalyst to press it back to 26, maybe into 30.
Yeah, it is
last time they had earnings, it went from 19 to 26. The previous times they had earnings before that, it went from 16 to 22. So like if you look back at all of these earnings announcements, it was a catalyst for like multi-day runs on this thing. So yeah, Cleveland Cliffs. I don't even know what they do. What does Cleveland Cliffs do?
Let me see. So they had kind of mixed earnings per share growth for this year. What are they doing? Let me see profile. I forgot. I knew it. I forgot. Iron ore mining company supplies iron ore pellets. Iron. That's an iron mining company. Sweet.
Iron mining?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is. What is iron mining?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. It looks good to me, man. But look, every one of those earnings have led to a rally. Let's do it. Now Josephine's got us into steel. I like where this conversation is going. Everyone else in the world's talking about Bitcoins and technology. We got oil. We got steel. Let's talk railroads, man. We're trading in the 70s. How about pulling up a chart of soybeans?
Let me see. I'm looking here something on the, I don't know, it's kind of mixed CLF, but the chart looks good. And again, if you have this breakout based on earnings, normally they continue. You have momentum here, so it might go higher. Which one? Steel, US Steel X. Oh, I know this, Josephine. Yeah. X. Let's see. I know this one. Yeah, it's kind of sideways, but starting to perk here. You're right. It's not bad. Yeah, it looks decent actually. It is more solid company, so I don't expect this to make like outstanding movements here. And it's not a growth company, but it is sitting here at support, and it's kind of holding. I think we talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago, I don't remember, and now it looks like it's trying to break out here this 22 or 23 area, which is actually decent. Looks decent. It's a good looking chart actually. It has some room to the upside. 30.57, 22.90 if you enter here, maybe with a tight stop here. So if that's your risk, you have 3 times 3.5 risk to reward. So that CMPS, psychedelic mushrooms.
Can we trade psychedelic mushrooms? Is that like real?
I don't know. CMPS. I'm wondering if is she making jokes?
I don't know. It's Friday. I wouldn't catch on. I can be totally.
Neither. I'm very slow with those jokes.
Pam Jam, you guys are desperate to avoid DWAC in fund. No, we talked about that, right? Yeah, we talked about.
Yeah, we talked about it. Let's check what happened. We actually I brought a setup idea intraday.
We don't avoid nothing here.
We're not avoiding.
We talk it all, man. Head on, bring it.
Fun. Let's see if this idea still works, or you should have been aggressive with the stop. No, it's still up. So look, Pam, the idea was to buy this. This is not a suggestion, guys. This is just ideas here.
No, it's a suggestion. Get in there.
To buy at 9:35 was the idea.
Buy that.
with stop below, and now it's actually broke out since then $2. So.
Yeah. You might, if you missed that one, you might be able to do 1130 long with a 10 stop. There could still be 15 in this before the day is over. It's flagging here a little bit,
Yeah,
but
I agree.
it could
DWAC,
be.
let's see what happens.
I think DATS is another one there that's laying at the bottom. I mentioned Grom. Could be a little squeeze in a couple of these.
I didn't realize DWAC went to 175, Duck. 13 to 175.
It did, and that's what I think started this fun ordeal this morning. Is, you know, when you get one of these runners, that's the way the small cap penny stock market works. You get one winner like this, and everybody wants the next one. You had GameStop. What was the product you went through? What was BBY? Am I right? BBY or BBBY?
Wow.
Nokia, AMC, all of those other speculative ones try to run. And that's what happens. So you have that one day. The next day you get fun. Of course, it's going to start out the day parabolic like that. That's why I bought it. You know, I actually bought the thing at 8, so I ain't avoiding nothing.
Very good.
That's why, because of what DWAC did yesterday. And when you get emotions like that,
look at this
DWAC.
It went. So if you have bought the dip here, okay, here you would have been stopped out. But here the second time, 74 to 115. And this is just an insane, such an insane range. Wow. Okay, Josephine is not joking about CMPS. Let's take a look. CMPS. I thought you were joking. CMPS.
What do you mean by psychedelic mushrooms? Is this some sort of medical thing for healing?
Yeah, it looks like it's a medical thing. I personally don't like the chart, to be honest with you, Josephine. It's just very rangy. I don't know if you think of a longer term perspective here, but this has been for a long period of time in this range zone since March until August. It's kind of ranging here. You see that? And then it broke down. Then it's kind of not really a strong downtrend, but kind of a range trend. And now it is finally perking up, broke support. So for me, in order to get interested in this one, I would like to continue like that, maybe break even here this resistance 39, see some momentum change of a distribution cycle into some kind of an uptrending momentum cycle where it breaks out, pulls back into some support area, and then would look to buy it. But other than this, I just don't like the current price action on it. For a day trade, if you're looking for a day trade, probably on the lower time frame, you got some moves. But overall, for a swing, I don't really like the price action. What do you think about CMPS, Doug?
I don't think I like the price action too much either. It's already kind of bounced a little bit there for my taste. I don't want to be. It doesn't mean it doesn't go higher, you know. I just don't like to chase stuff, because when I do, I have terrible results. But I think this one's already made. Like this 28.58. It's gone $10 almost straight. You got a lot of green days there, and now it's at the 200-day moving average, which is also very close to a lot of resistance. I mean, you look at like from April all the way to now, this 39 is massive. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 times since March. It's hit that number and rejected. So you're too close to that right now. But it's worth watching, because maybe, you know, someday it breaks that range and there's a lot of void to fill up to 51 or 61. But it's too many green days in a row for me. I have a limit of like 2 to 3. If it's 3 days green, I don't want it. If it's 3 days red, I don't. If it's 3 days red, I'll buy it. this 3 days green, I'll probably short it. I don't like to go that direction after 3 days. It doesn't
Yeah, it's
work for
it
me.
went straight up. So for me to get into it's too late to. Josephine is saying I got in at 32. Look at the options. Well, yeah, if you look at options and already in this, it's a different story, of course.
Trim
32.
and trail, man. Just sit on
Yeah.
that. It looks good if you're already in it, because if you
Yeah.
can clear the 39s, you should be in really good shape.
You can use trailing stops or something else. Sebastian, nice to see you here again. How are you doing?
Only Josephine would find psychedelic mushrooms to trade.
I don't know what
only you would do that.
She's saying psilocybin in treatment. I don't even know what that is, but anyways, if you're in it, very good. Salt covered coals. Okay, very good. Yeah, so if you guys have something else, let us know. I see we went through 1 hour. I didn't even see that. So we're kind of done. If you have something else, guys, let us know. We have a couple of more minutes for you. I will be happy to continue talking here with you, Doug. So if you have any other tickers, let us know. Do you have something else on watch, Doug?
I don't. I just have, I'm interested in Facebook, but it's just laying here. I already had a trade on the NQs. I like this Dick's Sporting Goods for a swing.
Oh, this I bought yesterday already.
But that was yesterday, yes. I don't have anything right now that I think I'm going to enter today, but
I bought also for the members yesterday BSY, which is breaking out. Bought this one as well. Yeah, so there are a lot of setups going on. Market has been very bullish, going straight up. Everything looks perfect. I think it's a great time to continue definitely trading or look for setups, learn the skill. It's a lot of opportunities, futures, stocks, even Bitcoin is pulling back now, so a lot of opportunities out there. And yeah, great way to learn a skill in this environment, I think.
Yeah, very good.
Okay,
it was exciting. I say that. So thanks guys for coming by. If we're signing off now, it's a pleasure. Hope you like these sessions. As always, bring your ideas. We'll try to keep going with it.
Yeah, just before we stop, guys, just letting you know here, you can if you want to check out my Baroque website, I have here free courses, and especially when it comes to Bitcoin, for those of you who are new to my website, check the website. You have here free trading kits. So there are a couple of courses for free, and most importantly, I attended at Benzinga Reopening Stock Summit Crypto Festival, which is recorded. So this is all about crypto here, 38 minutes. You can watch it, and a couple of more educational videos. Feel free to check this out. It's free. And let me know if you have any questions. Other than this, we will be back next Friday, same time here. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. As always, I'm looking forward to talk to you. Have an outstanding weekend, Doug, and everyone else.
Too.
It's a pleasure to me to talk to you guys, and to you, Doug. Thank you.
All right. See you.
See you. Bye.